Greetings, colleagues. Getting ready for a job interview in English? How to prepare for a job interview? What questions should you be ready to answer? What is the best way to get ready? We talked a lot about these questions in another video. So if you haven't seen that video yet, maybe watch that video first and then come back for this video. Any interview can be intimidating, especially if it's in a foreign language, but don't let it get to you. I can help you prepare so that you'll be less nervous and more confident during your interview. Let us go through a practice interview together. I will ask interview questions, pausing to give you time to answer. Practice answering these questions, and you'll be better prepared for the real interview. If you get stuck or think you can do better, rewatch the video and try it again. This is a great way to prepare for any job interview. Let's get into it. I'm Timothy Barrett. Welcome to the 4 Business English Rundown. This is the show for professionals all over the world who want to improve their communication skills in English. Today we're going to do a practice job interview. So I'll ask a question, I'll pause to give you time to answer, and you answer those questions out loud. Answer as if it's a real interview. If the interviewer asks you this question, how would you answer it? What would you say? So answer as best you can. Now, if I don't give you the right amount of time, obviously I don't know how long you're going to answer some questions. Some might be shorter, some longer, and that's fine. But go ahead and just pause the video, answer the question, and then hit play again. That's not a problem. Now, if you're kind of a beginner, maybe this is the first time you're doing this and you need a lot of practice, then go ahead and pause. You might want to spend more time thinking about the answer and practicing and then answer it for me and then go on to the next question. But if you're maybe more intermediate or advanced, then definitely go through it once. Pause if you need more time to answer, but other than that, just go through it live as best as you can. And then think about at the end, what questions did you answer well? What were your weak answers? And then go through it again and try to improve. As you're answering my questions, you might think of words or phrases or even expressions or just explanations that you have trouble answering in English or explaining in English. Don't worry about it as you're answering. At the end of the interview, make sure that you do write down those words or phrases that you had trouble with, and then look them up. Spend some time thinking about how you would say those things in English, or how would you explain, your last job or this project, whatever you wanted to talk about. Think about how you would talk about that in English. And then, of course, come back and try it again. So there's lots of vocabulary, kind of like a lexicon for you, your lexicon, things that you've done, universities that you've been to, jobs that you've had. You want to be very familiar with that lexicon so you can talk about yourself very easily. If you have trouble talking about some aspect of your background, then that's something you definitely want to focus on and get ready before the actual interview. All right, let's get started with the interview, and good luck. All right, have a seat. Very nice to meet you. Can you tell me your name one more time? All right, excellent. And tell me a little bit about yourself. All right. And can you go into a little bit more detail on your academic background? What are your greatest strengths? And provide some examples. What do you consider to be your weaknesses? And tell me, why did you leave your last job? Or why are you looking to leave your current position? Why do you want to work for this company? What is your passion? Why do you think you'd be a good fit here? What are some of your accomplishments? Describe a time when you dealt with a difficult customer or client situation. How did you handle it? How did you resolve that situation? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What was your favorite part and your least favorite part of your last job, your last position? What were your responsibilities in that position? What do you consider your biggest accomplishment while you were in that position? Why are you looking to leave that position, or why did you leave that position? How do you handle stress and pressure at work? Can you describe for me your time management system? How do you stay organized and keep track of things? Can you describe a difficult work situation or project and how you overcame that situation? Can you describe your ideal boss? Do you think that you work better in a team or individually? Have you ever been on a team where someone was not pulling their own weight? How did you handle that? How do you handle working with people that annoy you? What's the most difficult decision you've made in the last 2 years? And how did you come to that decision? What are you looking for in terms of career development? How do you want to improve yourself in the next year? What kind of goals would you have in mind if you got this position? If I were to ask your last supervisor to provide you additional training or exposure, what would she suggest? If you are selected for this position, can you describe your strategy for the first 90 days? How would you approach this new position, and what would you expect that you'd be doing? Who has impacted you most in your career, and how? What is your greatest achievement outside of work? Tell me about a failure you experienced and how you handled it, and if you learned anything from it. There's a gap in your employment history. Can you tell me why? How would you describe your work style? Do you have any questions for me? All right, so how did it go? How was the interview? What question was the most difficult for you? Put that question in the comments below. I'm curious to find out which question was the most difficult. Now remember, you can watch this video again and again, so each time trying to improve your answers. But there's more that you can do to also improve. Check out this next video about speaking aloud to improve your speaking skills. So by following those tips, you're going to improve your speaking skills and be better prepared for your job interview. So check that video out now. Remember, work hard today and enjoy tomorrow.